Hello, everyone. I'm Nick Reagan with Live 5 News, and today I am sitting down with Winnifa B. Clark. She is the current clerk of court in Orangeburg County, and she is, of course, running on the Democratic primary for that position once again. First and foremost, ma'am, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
So let's get right to it. What do folks need to know about you and why you're running for re-election?
All right. Again, my name is Winnifa B. Clark, and I have dedicated 33 years in the clerk's office. I came here in 1990, and I'm running on a solid foundation.
So in those 33 years, what have you seen change, and what would you like to see change going forward?
Well, in my tenure, technology, new systems that state mandated over the course of my years here. So basically has changed throughout the years.
How can you improve things even further?
The only thing that I see that I can improve without being mandated by court administration or the Chief Justice, the only thing I can do, we have a family court system called the PACS, which is the Palmetto Automated Child Support System.
Mm-hmm.
In today's time now, individuals that pay child support, they will have to go to CVS or they will have to go to Walmart and send child support payments by MoneyGram. But what I would like to implement is what we call, that was offered to us at one of our conferences, and it is called a kiosk machine. And this kiosk machine will allow citizens who pay child support to come in the courthouse, and they can pay their child support by cash. They can pay by check. They can pay by debit and credit card. So that's one of the technology piece that I would like to implement that is being initiated by South Carolina DSS.
Can you talk a little bit more about how you got into the clerk's office and why you've done it for your entire career, it seems like?
Well, I started out in 1990. I came as a clerk typist. And then I was promoted from a clerk typist to an accountant. And then from the accountant, I was promoted to a deputy clerk of court. And from that time, my experience, my knowledge, my dedication, I decided that I wanted to become the clerk of court. And so I ran and I was elected in 2008.
Is there something that keeps you coming back to this position? I mean, obviously it's a job, but you seem like, and obviously you've been there for 33 years, that you liked the job at least well enough to stay there for a number of decades. What keeps you coming back?
Serving the people, serving the citizens of Orangeburg County, serving anybody that walks through the courthouse or the clerk's office. It's an honor and a privilege to work with the judges, the attorneys, and just staff within the clerk's office and staff within the courthouse.
I think there are a lot of people out there who have no idea what the clerk of court does. Can you break it down for us a little bit, as someone who has so much experience? What is it that your position does, and why is it so important for the everyday person?
So we are the file keepers. The clerk's office is the file and record keeper for the courts. And when I say courts, you're talking about the circuit court, which consists of general sessions, which is criminal court. And then you have common plea, which consists of civil. And then you have the family court. And then you have juvenile court. And so the judges, they rely on the clerk's office to provide them with all the necessary documents and filings to hear cases. And so it's important that my office keeps a good record keeping file system so that the judges can make their decision in cases that come before them.
So obviously you do have a number of staff members that look up to you. How would you think, or how would they describe your leadership style?
They would say I'm nice. They would say I'm firm. They would, I think, tell you that I care about this position. I care about this job because I have maintained compliance. I'm in 100% compliance with the statutes that govern this office. So they know that I'm firm when it comes to following rules and regulations that the clerk's office governed by. They know how I feel about my financial audit ratings. And so they know how I feel about customer service and providing good customer service to any person, any constituent, any stakeholder that entered the clerk's office doors.
Obviously, this is a technically a partisan position, but it feels more like an administrative one for sure. Do you think that this is the type of position that necessarily needs an election for? And certainly, is it a position that needs to have a Democrat or a Republican opposed to just the right person for the job?
I think the right person has to be in this position. You must have this experience and the ability to implement policies without delaying the efficiency to serve the stakeholders. So I think that whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you have to have knowledge and understanding and experience and dedication and love what you do to make sure that you're in compliance with the statutes that this office is governed by. So I don't think it's political per se. I just think it's about, being experienced and keeping the court system running well.
All right, last thing here. Talk to the voters here as they're going into the voting booth. Why do they choose you over your opponent?
Well, my opponent, she worked for me for 6 years, 7 months, and 30 days. She resigned from the clerk's office, which is a county position, and she went to work for a state position, which is the public defender's office. Again, I have 33 years of experience. I have been through the ins and outs when it comes to the clerk's office. I'm knowledgeable. I have a very dedicated staff, and I'm building on a solid foundation. It's already solid. I just want to continue to build, that I will continue to implement a great number of best practices in serving the people of Orangeburg County and any of our clientele that comes in this office. And so I am the best candidate for this office because of my experience, my knowledge, my dedication, and I want to continue to stand on my solid foundation that I have built over my 33 years as an employee, but 16 years as the clerk of court for Orangeburg County. And so I ask the citizens, please choose me. Please reelect me on June the 11th.
All right, well, she is bringing the experience with her. She is Winnifa B. Clark, running again in the Orangeburg County Clerk of Court race. Thank you, ma'am, so much for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.